You're listening to episode number 34 of the Play Your Position podcast.
Welcome to the Play Your Position podcast, where your story matters and we make it count. Here's your host, Mary Lou Kaser. Let's get started.
Kickoff, move the chains, and touchdowns. Welcome to the Play Your Position podcast, where each week another insightful conversation makes it into the end zone. I'm your host, Mary Lou Kaser, and this is the podcast that features conversations with and about people who show up and play full out each and every day. They are the people you admire: entrepreneurs, writers, artists, musicians, parents, teachers, athletes, adventurers, and their stories give us a glimpse into what it means to be human. My goal for each episode is to inspire you with stories that make you think, introduce you to cool new people, open you up to new ideas, and inspire you to keep playing full out in your life's work in order to make a difference. As always, details about each episode can be found over on the Shownotes page at my website, maryloukaser.com/podcast, where you will find a clickable list of each episode. I am super excited about introducing you to my guest for the show today, MiMi Chau. MiMi, are you ready for kickoff?
I am so ready, Mary Lou. Let's do this.
Yes, let's do this. So MiMi is a young entrepreneur with a drive to make a difference in the world and a passion for juicing. Her brand, #JuiceMe, helps people kickstart a healthier lifestyle by nourishing their mind, body, and soul. She recently started a cold-pressed juice line serving Orange County and San Jose in California. MiMi inspires to be a thought leader in the health and fitness industry and brings something different to the game. So again, MiMi, welcome to the show. Let's jump right in and have you share your story about how you got this position of being an entrepreneur who juices.
Thanks, Mary Lou. Yes, so it all started out with me searching for the right job. And when I was going on all these interviews, it wasn't working out. And then I thought about long and hard of what it is that I love to do and how I can bring value to others. And I remember when I first started juicing 2 years ago, I started a blog, and it's just for myself of just really keeping track of my journey. I realized it was something that a lot of people were interested in, including a lot of my friends, my family, and there were a lot of questions. And so it was exciting to realize that juicing has been a tremendous tool in my health and in my fitness. And so I wanted to share this tool that has been working so well for me and being able to share that with others.
You've suited up. It's game day. You are in the juicing role. Tell us about a typical day for you, MiMi.
So what I do offer is a 3-day cleanse. So people are taking a break from eating food, from caffeine, from soda, and from just eating. And they are taking a break, and they drink 6 juices a day, and for 3 days or 5 days, whatever they feel like they need. And so I offer these cleanses for my clients. And so my days start off with, of course, grocery shopping and finding all the ingredients that I need for the juices. I have another person who helped me juice, and so I just crank away, juices. And then prior to that, I really send a lot of information. I send out an email so people know what to expect. They understand why they're doing the juice cleanse and all the benefit that it has to offer to them. And really, after they receive their juices, then I'm there to support them and really help them create a great experience while doing this.
You're not just creating the juices for them. You're actually coaching them through this 3-day cleanse and helping them make that transition away from the processed foods like soda and other junky things that everybody ends up eating at some point, right? And after that 3 days, what happens next?
I believe that after the 3 days, everybody feel empowered. A lot of my clients who have done it for the first time, and especially for myself, we start feeling our power of saying no to the things that doesn't serve us and doesn't serve our body. So you become very self-aware of how your body feel. And so after the 3-day cleanse, when you're having soda or when you're having things that you feel that is not good for your body, you become more aware. You just notice the difference in how your body feel.
Yeah, and I think, again, in a society where so many people grow up not understanding the fundamentals of good nutrition, they don't even know what it feels like to have that power to be self-aware. This may be the very first time in their entire lives that awareness is coming into their existence. Would you agree with that?
I totally agree. And until you feel great and you feel good, you don't know what you're missing out on.
It's true. It's true. And so, Mimi, why don't you share who was instrumental for you in helping you make this transition? You said that about 2 years ago, you started to juice for yourself, for your health, and then you were blogging. Who's been a coach or mentor on this journey for you?
I am so blessed to have these two men in my life. One is my husband, his name is Henry, and the other one is my previous CEO, my mentor, his name is Klaus Lemaier. So Henry is my husband, and he was there for me when I was going through these interviews and was always cheering me on when I have doubt about myself. But when I really committed to giving this juicing business a shot, and he started juicing with me too. So we were cleansing for a 3-day cleanse every month together, and we've been doing that for a whole year. And so he really experienced the power of juicing and what it can do to his body. So he was 100% behind me and supporting me in pursuing this business. And then with Klaus has been my life mentor and also in business. And it was so inspiring to see how successful he is with his business and with his family. And so he was always there to give me great advice.
Well, listeners know that one of the themes of this show is the power of having a coach/mentor. And sometimes those two words get interchanged, and I actually see them having different roles. A coach is somebody who's there literally on the sidelines, cheering you on, showing you the plays, helping you make some decisions, giving you some feedback and insights about your approach to things. Whereas a mentor is more somebody who has walked the walk that you are now choosing to follow and offering you some advice, but it may be more at a distance. And those two men that you just talked about have that power in your life to help you keep going when, it gets dark, as it does for everybody who's made the decision to walk a path that may not be conventional, and also be that cheerleader that we all need, because really life is a team sport. And I just can't emphasize that enough, that for listeners today, if you are still looking for that coach or mentor, I guarantee you there's somebody out there. It just may take a little bit longer, or they may already be in your life and you just aren't seeing it. So I'm really glad that you have a mentor and coach, not only the man you're married to, Mimi, but someone who is there from the business side, because being an entrepreneur is not easy, as you well know. And you're a young entrepreneur. I mean, you're young in age, but you're also young in your journey as a businesswoman. So there's still so much for you to learn. So much of that is going to come from experience. And the only way you can get the experience is by showing up every day, which it sounds like you're doing. Speaking of showing up every day and getting out on the field, why don't you tell us about a time during this journey into juicing where you found yourself maybe playing out of position, maybe you were feeling doubtful, or you got sacked on the field, right? Or you fumbled the ball. Tell us that story about what happened.
I believe it's, with just any entrepreneur starting for the first time, and especially in the beginning of the game, is you're trying to do everything yourself. And in the beginning, you're a one-person team and you're spinning a lot of different plates. And so I was doing everything, including the juicing, the packaging, the marketing, the sales, and things started being, of course it's great when business is getting busy, but that's where I start feeling very overwhelmed. And I realized that I was just spending too much time in, the kitchen to actually do the juicing. And when I started recognizing that I was playing out of position, I was able to really take a step back, look at the bigger picture, and start thinking more for, the next step and possibly the next 5 steps further ahead, what I need to do and what system I need to put in place in order to receive the best results, and also to play the position that I love playing and I want to play and I am good at.
And which position is that? Because you just hit on something that is so true about entrepreneurship, and that is in the early days, we do it all. We show up as the coach, we show up as the quarterback, we show up as the wide receiver, we show up as the fans, we show up as the water boy or girl. I mean, we are doing it all. And so on that day, Mimi, when you had that moment and you said, I can't be doing all of these roles anymore, which position is your favorite and are you best at, would you say?
I love spending time with people. I love investing my time in people. So I realize it's where I shine is when I have an event, and it's amazing being able to share my passion and my knowledge about juicing with other people. And I feel that that's where my role is most effective. So I do want to do more events. I want to do more sales and marketing, and I want to coach. So I'm so excited to start a new journey of learning more about nutrition and health and fitness and how I can incorporate everything into the brand that I'm building.
Yes. So you are now taking on this new role, or you found the role you really want. Tell us about how you're getting those systems in place so that you can go out and shine in that role, but all those other things are still getting done behind the scenes.
Believe that just having the right support too, just knowing that you will get there, it just takes time and things don't happen overnight. And I truly believe in the power of building relationships. I am still searching for the right people, and I'm very selective of who I bring onto my team. So I rather be the person that's working really hard right now and being very selective on who I bring on the team and building a relationship with them where I can trust them to help me build this company. And so I think that's the number one thing that I'm very focusing on right now is bring on the right person for the right role that'll be able to support me and helping me in producing the juices. And, we really focus on the quality and the experience of the juice cleanse. So that's something that I'm putting a lot of effort into creating. And I think of spending more time in strategizing and really put a lot of thought into the right system and having the intention and the direction very clear that my employee and the people who are helping me know exactly what I want, knowing how I want it to get done, and we're all on the same page.
That's very smart. That's a really smart approach. Rather than rush into something, you're taking the time to think about exactly who you want to be a part of this team. And I think in the long run, it's going to pay off for you rather than sometimes people want to take a shortcut and just bring on anybody to fill that position because they're exhausted, or you used a very telling word earlier, overwhelmed. That's how so many young business owners feel in those early years, is overwhelmed because you are taking on so much. But if there's that rush into hiring a bunch of people only to discover 6 months down the road, they're not really working out, then not only have you lost the energy you put into training them and onboarding them, but you've also now put yourself in a position where you have to start from ground zero again. That's a huge setback. I mean, that's like being on the 1 yard line with the football and then passing it to a teammate who runs it the other way. scores in the opposite end zone, you know? It's like, wait a minute, this isn't how this works. So I applaud you for that, Mimi. I applaud you for that approach. I think that's very smart.
Thank you. And I get so excited. I'm so happy when I find out in the beginning where that person's not working out, because I do truly believe that saves me a lot of time and headache.
It really does. What kind of advice would you offer people who are listening today who maybe have thought about, maybe they're in a job right now like you were, and that they have this passion that's calling them, but they're struggling to find that exact position to play? What would you recommend they do or think about to move past that?
Your life is the consequence of your decision, and your thoughts is what is putting these action in place. And so what has helped me tremendously, definitely surround myself with the people that is where I want to be and possess the qualities that I have in myself, and I want to nurture and grow more. And so what has really helped me is reading a lot of books. When we first met, we were talking about Dale Carnegie, and I felt like that was it's gold for me when I've discovered that book, and just really thinking about how we worry and we stress out about things that hasn't happened yet. And things is just not as bad as you think it is. I think we get ahead of ourselves. I get ahead of myself of thinking, what happened if I walk away from a 9-to-5 job and not having stability? Am I going to be okay? And things are just not as bad as we imagine that they are. Breaking out of your patterns, your thought patterns, and giving yourself time to create new ones by reading all these great books. I think Dale Carnegie is great, and all these podcasts, Mary Lou, like yours and Entrepreneur on Fires. I was so excited when I saw you're on there. Entrepreneur on Fire is something that I listen on the daily. School of Greatness, hearing stories about other people who is now successful and the journey that they take. And you realize, wow, each and every one of those people has been in your shoe, has been in my shoe. And that has been my driving force of just moving forward. We all have to start somewhere, and things will not change until you let go of those worries and just trust the process and trust life, that life is amazing and life will conspire to give you what you really wish for.
It will. When you declare to the universe or life or whatever you want to put in that slot that this is your intention, it's amazing how things start to rearrange themselves to help you achieve that. And you mentioned Dale Carnegie, Mimi. What book of Dale Carnegie's was most impactful for you? Because some listeners may not be familiar with him. And what would you recommend they go grab?
I love Stop Worrying and Start Living. I feel every time when I start to worry and I let fear get the best of me, the fear of failure, the fear of unknown, I'm able to go back to these books and realize those fear is not real. It's a conversation that I've been telling myself. And once you realize that the fear that you feel is the same fear that you create for yourself, it's amazing what you can do once you realize it's not real, and that it would be able to help you move forward. And I believe that book is so powerful. And just when you're committed to reaching your full potential and living your life to the fullest, life's amazing and doors will start opening.
So listeners, of course, all of the things that Mimi shares today can be found over at the Shownotes page at mariloukaser.com/Mimi, and that's MIMI. And I will have a link to this book that she is recommending by Dale Carnegie. I absolutely agree. Again, listeners, you know I'm a huge fan of books. I believe we can learn so much from those who've taken the time to put down their thoughts, their experiences on paper. And whether you read or you listen to audiobooks or you consume them on your iPad or your phone or your Kindle, doesn't really matter how they're consumed, as long as you're doing what Mimi just emphasized, which is surround yourself with the people who you admire, who you want to be like, who have lived the dream that you have. Instead of sitting around and imagining the worst, which every human being has the capability of, why not flip that on its head and imagine the best and see what happens. It's a powerful thing. And again, Mimi, you are so inspirational to me because you are in a generation behind me. You are full on a millennial and I'm a Gen Xer. And to see someone like you who has so much excitement and so much enthusiasm for the future, for where you are right now, for your company that and your brand that you're building, it just warms my heart and it just excites me because that's what life's about, right? That brings me to, I think, one of the most exciting parts of any football game, which is when the team scores a touchdown. So let's take that ball, Mimi, into the end zone and put points on the board. Yay. So, yes, yay. You are in the red zone and there are less than 30 seconds left on the clock. You are down by 4 points. It's third down and it is now or never. Tell us a story about a time when you overcame this obstacle and ran the ball into the end zone that won the game for you.
Right now, it's still the beginning. So it has been a tough journey and there's so much I need to learn, and how I feel rewarded and I get my personal touchdown is when I receive a text from each of my clients when they share what the cleanse has done for them. So that is something that I get so excited about, and it just keeps helping me move forward. And is when I truly believe in myself, my strength and my purpose for life, that I'm the only person in the world that can offer this of how I feel about juicing and what I can do to support others in this process. And two of the stories I wanted to share was, a text that I received from a friend who's a mom. And after the cleanse, 3 months later, she sent me a progress picture and she felt so amazing. And the cleanse had really helped her kickstart a healthier lifestyle. She has been drinking less alcohol. She started working out every single day after the cleanse. And to me, I gave myself a little pat on the back, like, wow, good job, Mimi. You're doing something right and you should keep going. And another one was just recently where I was in San Jose. And one of my client who has been cleansing with me every month for the past 6 months, she sent me a picture of her 6-year-old son drinking the juice. And he had the biggest smile on his face and he loved it. And it was so amazing. And she texted me and she said, Mimi, we can't wait for you to come back to San Jose. Like he's waiting for you and he can't wait until I do another cleanse so he can, still my juices. It's so amazing. And that's what I find so rewarding in my job. And it's totally my personal touchdown.
Absolutely. Those are the best touchdowns. They're not about necessarily the points as much as they are that feeling of I did something that made a difference to someone else. That, it was a team. That's a team win. That is a team win. And I love it. I love those two stories. And you know what's going to happen, Mimi? The deeper into this journey you go, the more of those are going to come into your life and just bless you and reward you over and over again, because you're giving something very valuable to the world, the gift of health.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary Lou. I appreciate that.
So speaking about the gift of health, let's have you share. I know in the pre-chat we were talking about a gift you have for listeners today. First of all, how can people find you online? And then share with us your wonderful gift.
Thank you. Yes, please visit my website. It is juicemegourmet.com and sign up for the email list. I love to share recipes and story about juicing, health, and fitness. And I share plenty of, amazing pictures on Instagram, and that's the best way to reach me. And my Instagram account is juicemegourmet. And I'm just very, very grateful to be here, Mary Lou. I want to acknowledge you and thank you for believing in me. And it's quite an honor to be here to share my vision and my passion with everyone here today. And I'm currently working on creating a juice program of helping people shed their emotional and physical weight. And I'd love to share it with the audience that's listening today. So if you email me at juicemegourmet@gmail.com and let me know that listen, you're a part of our conversation today, I'd love to put you on my early bird list and send you the juice program for free once I'm done with it.
Oh, that's the best kind. The early birds, I love those because you get the first peek at something. Also complimentary. You can't beat that. And I just want to spell out, make sure listeners know, Juice Me is Juicemi, and then gourmet, the word gourmet, Gourmet. So juicemegourmet@gmail.com is a great place for you to connect with Mimi, as well as her Instagram account, and go and learn about this incredible way to, I love that, shed the emotional and physical weight. Not just the physical weight, but the emphasis on the emotional. That's powerful, Mimi. Really, really powerful. And it has been my honor, 100%, to have you on the Play Your Position podcast today. Your enthusiasm, your excitement, just your energy is inspirational in and of itself. And I wish you all the best to you moving forward.
Thank you so much, Mary Lou.
Hey team, we are 9 weeks into 2015. How are you doing with your goals so far? If you're like a lot of people looking around and saying, man, I could sure use a little kick in the you-know-what, I have got a special offer for you to take advantage of today. Head on over to maryloukaser.com/endzone, and you'll be able to not only download the first chapter of my popular book, Personal Branding Secrets for Beginners, completely free, but you'll also be able to apply for a 15-minute complimentary from red zone to end zone discovery call with me. Now, it's not that often that I put my time out there because, let's face it, I am a super busy person, building my business, creating my podcasts, working on my writing projects, and serving clients. But I do know that we are at that sticky time of the year where a lot of times people look around and say, I really could use a little boost. Take advantage of it. Head on over to maryloukaser.com/endzone. And I will see you on the other side.
Thanks for listening to the Play Your Position podcast, where your story matters and we make it count at maryloukaser.com.